Hi, my name is Jessica Van Rankin, and this will be my how-to video for Wix and Adobe Illustrator. So the first part of my project was to create a banner for the website I'll be making in Adobe Illustrator, which is a great software for editing text, which is what I'll be doing with my name, Jessica Van Rankin. I added a new file and I made about those dimensions. Then I typed in my name using the text tool. Then I changed it to Mistral, that font. Well, I experimented with a lot of different fonts and decided I liked that one best. Then I enlarged it just using that. I decided that for my banner, I really liked the sketch effect I'd seen in some Adobe Illustrator tutorials, so I looked it up on Google. And found one I really liked. Following these steps, I created something that looks about like that. The first step was to get rid of any stroke or fill I already have on the text. Which I do that just by going up to those boxes and getting rid of it. Then I add a new fill and add a new effect inside that fill as it says there. And the new effect I'll be using, I experimented with a few different ones, but the scribble effect is what I really liked. And you can customize the effect using those right there, and change it to better suit how you want it to look. And I eventually ended up with something that looked about like that. Then once I had the basic scribble effect I wanted, I started editing things like the color and the opacity. Going back to the tutorial I was following on how to make that effect, I look at the next step, which is editing the stroke. And you do about the same thing you did with the fill. You add a new stroke and change the weight of it. Then you want to add a new effect. And in this case, we chose the roughen effect, just to make it a little more defined and rough on the outside. Doing all of that, I ended up with something that looked about like that. Now my next step is to put the banner into a website I'll be creating. I chose to use Wix.com to create this website. It's a really great tool for just creating a website, and it has a lot of simple templates that you can use, like I'll show you here. You have to sign up for an account, but it's free, as it says on the page there. And I'll go to my account, where my website is, that I can get onto right there. And I can edit it or I can view it, but just to show you how I would start making my website, I'll go up to the Create button at the top of the screen. Where it will take me to a place where I can choose from lots of different templates to which will best suit my needs creating this website. Now, there's a lot of different ones that I experimented with, but eventually I settled on a blank template because I felt there were more things I could do with it and make it more of my own. This is the actual finished product of my website, and I'll explain how I did a few of the things that are here. Everything on the layout of this website was made very simply using the tools that Wix has built into it. All the photos and the buttons that can be rolled over were made just by clicking add and adding in different pictures I created in Photoshop, or going to the navigation and finding buttons there to use that I could use for each of my pages. When I click on my About Me page, it obviously looks very different, but it involves a lot of the same components in the background, because when I click on the arrow there, I can duplicate a page, and that's what I did with my home page, and then I adjusted each page accordingly to fit my needs. When creating my resume page, I kept in mind that I wouldn't want everyone in the world having access to personal information like my contact information, so I went to where it requires a password, and it was very simple, and now it's locked down when it's on the actual published page. Now, taking a step or two backwards, I made the background for the whole website in Photoshop, as I said earlier, and I basically just I had downloaded a bunch of different brushes and just experimented with different colors and laid them one on top of each other, and then messed with the opacity of the whole photo. It was fairly simple, but it created a finished product which I wanted to use for my background. When I click the preview button in Wix, it takes you to what your website will actually look like, as is. Here's a quick run through of what I've created using the different tools I learned about in this project. I hope this has taught you something about either Adobe Illustrator or Wix.com.